My name is Gareth Latimer. I am the Director of Finance at One&Only Hotel, and I've been here for 2 years. As a Director of Finance, I'm really responsible for finance overall at the resort. So that means it's the day-to-day accounting functions, which would include payroll, it would include your accounts receivable, your accounts payable, certain unique positions to hospitality, such as income audit, cost audit. We're also responsible for the procurement division, which makes sure that everyone has what they need when they need it. And then I'm also responsible for IT at the resort. The role really of the executive is to look after all three of those departments and achieve the results that need to be achieved. Accounting was always just a natural ability. I was good with numbers and I had a keen interest in business. I think the main issue was I didn't want to become a doctor, so that was that for me. And I just felt that it was a great career opportunity. It's an excellent qualification to get a CA, and really the world's your oyster. From there you can operate in any finance team depending on your sectoral experience. For me, the first highlight was really starting my career. Day one, arriving at a big company like PricewaterhouseCoopers. Another significant moment would have been passing my board exams. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of elation that comes with that. I think another significant milestone for me was being promoted to a manager at PricewaterhouseCoopers. It was a highly esteemed job to have. Yeah, and then I think another really sort of significant step would have been arriving in an executive position at the One&Only. First and foremost, what's helped me to sort of be successful in my career is the training I've had. I attended a great university, with excellent coursework and lecturers. I think secondly would have been working with a prestigious organisation. As I said, I was with PricewaterhouseCoopers, so you learn a heck of a lot from your colleagues and from your seniors, and definitely I would have to credit a lot of my development to those informal conversations, those mentorships, sometimes the hard reviews, the hard truths. And then I think I've got to give myself some credit. It's also just an attitude of hard work, and that nothing is given to you on a plate, so you really need to excel and dedicate yourself to your own career. What makes this role so special is really just the limitless number of sort of issues and problems to solve. It really is quite daunting at times, but that's at the same time very, very inspiring and motivating. It's phenomenal to see your efforts get converted into success, and that takes time to achieve, but bit by bit we're definitely getting there. And when I look back now, 2 years on when I started, we've made really significant ground in a number of areas. Are we there yet? No. Will we ever be there? I'm not sure. But I think it's just incredibly inspiring to keep seeing that progress. A very obvious highlight would have been, really just building the finance team up to be a strong, independent department that's operating under its own steam and meeting the needs of both corporate and the business. That really has been goal one, and I think I can proudly say we've achieved that. To keep going through the challenging times, one really has to rely on one's people. It's also about prioritizing. And really understanding what absolutely needs to be done right now. And sometimes it's difficult to explain to people that that's what needs to happen. But I think that's your role as an executive manager, is to really make those calls in the interests of the business. The big difference between being on the executive team and on a managerial level is that on the executive team you're really looking at the bigger picture decisions, items that have an impact months and possibly years down the line. You're trying not to get involved too much in the nitty-gritty day-to-day detail. That's what your managers are there to manage. But as an executive manager, you really are trying to look at the bigger picture and have the higher level engagements that need to happen to support your departments and other departments to get their jobs done. An example of that would be engaging with corporates, engaging with borrowers, with lenders, with owners, engaging with other executives about difficult topics or perhaps about exciting initiatives. So it's really about the bigger picture. What's nice and unique about this executive team is we've got an understood policy that we're going to play open cards and be honest with one another. We don't take things personally. We can have frank discussions. What's also great about this executive team is that everyone's got time for everyone. So it's always okay to just pop in and have a quick chat, and I really do take advantage of that. I try to keep off email and just have the more sort of informal conversations, a quick phone call to Natasha or a quick pop into Richard's office to talk about issues. I really do enjoy that open door policy, and it just works well. It helps to get things done quickly. One of the most important qualities to operate at an executive level is one of a positive can-do attitude, and really to have that tenacity and that drive to find a solution. I think one of the biggest insights I've had through my experience here in this limited 2-year period is just how important people are. And clearly, just from the volume of work, delegation is essential in terms of supporting you, and it's also essential in terms of supporting your staff and their career development. So yeah, it's very, very important to always consider people, their mentorship, their career development. Another big insight I've had is just how important your relationships are with your colleagues in other divisions, and certainly for me, colleagues on the executive committee, because without that engagement, you can really, really struggle to get things done. And sometimes it really just does require a little bit of relationship building. You just really realize that people are important, and that's how you're going to get results. It's not necessarily through brute force. I think what's made me successful as a leader at the One&Only is really my ability to understand the issue, to get to grips with the detail of what's required, and then to really corral the correct resources and put them in place to make it happen. So it's really almost at a project manager type of level. What really makes me feel the most proud about what I do is when I have an interaction, either at the board level or with our CFO or with our general manager, and I get that positive feedback about a job well done. I can't believe we managed to achieve that, or really so excited that we've managed to resolve this issue. For me, there's nothing better than positive feedback, and it always just makes you feel proud. It makes it all worthwhile.